My message to the world is God's message to the world. And God's message to the world is summed up in 5 words. You've got me all wrong. This is a profound message, because if we have got all wrong, then we have to start asking questions all over again. Not the least important of which is, then, what's right? What is true? What is real? Currently, people don't think that we've got God all wrong. Currently, people, at least people of religion, most of the world's traditional religions, believe that we have God all right, because that's what those religions teach. Religions teach that we have all the answers we need to have about God. It's all there in the book. Just read the book and then do what the book says. But if the book is inaccurate to some degree, then we're on shaky ground. So no one can acknowledge, and no one could be expected to acknowledge, frankly, that the book is inaccurate or even could be inaccurate. So we have a situation where we're saying we have all the answers that we need to have. There are no more questions to ask. Indeed, in many places of the world, in many circumstances in life, we're not even allowed to ask questions. In some locations, if you even ask a question about God or about what the religions have to say about God, you're considered an apostate, a blasphemer, a heretic. And you can be brought up, actually, on charges of apostasy, which in some countries are punishable by death. So the statement from God, "You've got me all wrong," is not an insignificant one. It's a revolutionary one. And it reopens the conversation about God again. It invites us to ask, to explore, and to expand on what we think we know about God. I think it's important to understand that people who have new ideas about God and about life and about who we are in relationship to each other are not in any way suggesting that we ought to release or relinquish or abandon or reject our present ideas about God. We're not suggesting that religions should be abandoned either. What we are saying is that don't abandon your religion, invite it to expand, invite it to become larger, invite it to ask an extraordinary question. Is it possible that there is something we do not fully understand here about God and about life, the understanding of which would change everything? Now, you see, you have to be pretty arrogant, I would think, to say, no, that's not possible. It's not possible that we don't understand everything there is to understand about God. In fact, we do understand everything that there is to understand about God. That would be, I would think, spiritually arrogant. So spiritual humility, it seems to me, invites us to notice that there might just be something, some little piece of information we don't have yet. And that would invite us to continue the exploration. And that's not something that religion, most of the standard traditional religions of the world, are up to. They're not up to expanding the exploration. They're up to ending the discussion and applying what they believe has already been discovered. Now, this is interesting. Let me expand on this for just a bit, if I might. If we took that attitude, if we took that position with regard to virtually any other area of our life, we would have been stopped cold, dead in the water. Evolution would have virtually ended right then and there. If medical science, for instance, had said, no, we have to stop right now with what we know now. We can't go any further. If technology had said, no, we have to stop with what we know right now. We can't go any further. If science had said, no, we have to stop with what we know right now. We can't go any further. We would have, in fact, stopped right then and there when that declaration was made, and we wouldn't have gone any further. But you see, the genius of science, the wonder of medicine, the miracle of our technology, is that we have not been afraid to do something quite extraordinary. We have not been afraid to question the prior assumption. Now, if theology, if religion would give itself permission to simply question the prior assumption, that is it possible that what we believe to be true is not true? We're not even saying that it's not true. Is it possible that it's not true in the sense that it's not the whole truth? Not that it's not true in the sense that it's false, but that it's not true in the sense that there's more to be known, that we don't have all the information. Is that possible? Or are we really saying in our spiritual arrogance, nothing more to know, nothing more to explore on this subject? if we are willing to admit and to acknowledge in our humility that there might be something more to know on this subject, then we open the door to 3 magic words.